how to unlock your promotion fast track. We may get stuck at career track. Who doesn't, right? Because career is not up to our control. Sometimes we feel like, oh, well, we are first generation and we come here late and our communication, blah, 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 and this and that, all kinds of reasons. But why do we get passed over for a promotion though? And some people may say, well, because my colleagues do a lot of lip service, or my colleagues have a better relationship with the boss, or something like that. We have all kinds of excuses. We witness all this all the time. But let's look at the definition of promotion. Promotion is a decision for an individual that is overqualified for current job duty and is ready for the next job duty upon training. So meaning this person is overqualified. In other words, if this person is not getting promotion, he or she is not qualified for current job, or barely qualified, or qualified, but not overqualified. He or she has to be overqualified for current job. And even he or she got promoted to the next job, there's a lot of training needed, because when you get a promotion to the next job, you are essentially unqualified. Everybody, when they first get promoted, they're not qualified. So what determines your promotion, by the way? Now we know, okay, if we know this person is overqualified, then they get promoted. But what determines your promotion? Is it KPI? Well, a lot of you here, maybe all of you, are very good employees at meeting KPIs, right? Unfortunately, KPI is not a good indicator. It's not. The key is the decision maker's impression and perception about your professionalism. The key word here, impression and perception about your professionalism. You may say, well, I'm very professional. Does your decision maker think so? Or all my colleagues, my friends, they all think I'm very professional. But does your boss know that? Or do your bosses know that? So you have to be professional no matter what. But the key is you also had to let your boss, especially the decision maker, know that you are professional. Professionalism, let's have a little anatomy here. Basically, it's two questions, simple and easy. Does he or she know what he or she is doing? This is what we call your expertise. If you're an accountant, do you know your tax laws? Do you know your nitty-gritty tax changes every year? If you know that, that's checked. I think most of you know what you're doing, but it's the second part that is also very important. Does he or she know what he or she is talking about? A lot of us fail to meet this second criteria. We gave the impression to our superior that we do not know what we're talking about. And I shared with you last week about this alchemy formula. A stands for speech, your accent. L is your language. C is your character, your persona. And E is your experience, your cultural understanding. And Y is yourself, basically your emotional intelligence. I'm not listing habits and your mindset here, only A.L.C.H.E.M.Y, okay? Because that's what determines whether you know what you're talking about. And also, is he or she a lynchpin or a consumable? Consumable are those one-time use utensils. In Chinese, we call it the chicken rib. You keep it, it's junk, and you use it, it's not good at all, right? That's consumable. But lynchpin is pivotal, it's critical, it's this part. If I take this part away, all those spokes, the tires, even though they're way heavier than this little lynchpin, it will collapse. Are you the lynchpin? Consumable is replaceable, it's somewhat useless. We all know that there's people in organization or institution, they are consumable. We know that. It's just those people are very high on the to fire list. It's a hustle to fire people. And a lynchpin is pivotal, critical, indispensable. Or if you don't know whether you're a lynchpin or not, you can measure your lynchpin index. Maybe you are somewhat replaceable in this area, but you are definitely not replaceable in that area. So it's not like a one standard. And also, what is his or her teachability? Oh, by the way, just a little disclaimer, I'm no way, shape, or form a HR specialist, but we have an HR specialist here. But I'm just using the plain language for everybody to understand, right? And the fourth point here is, what is his or her teachability index? Whether this person is teachable. Is he malleable, ready to be shaped or ready to accept new knowledge or new concept, new paradigm? Or is he just stubborn like an old rock? This alchemy, you need all this, okay? You need habits, you need the experience, you need the mindset, you need emotional intelligence, everything. So what is your teachability index? Teachability, I shared this picture before. When someone is not teachable, meaning this person is pretty much arrogant and fully closed to new learning. And when this person is also fully open to new learning, he or she will be very gullible or downright naive, meaning like he'll believe anything. This will be the better position. A teacher or a student in this realm, you will learn most. Teachability index. The most important law in the career field is mentor versus mentee. Mentor versus mentee. Please just remember that. If your boss is not your mentor, then you got a problem. That means this boss doesn't know you. That means he doesn't care about you. He doesn't care to teach you, to bring you up. Then you got a problem. From a 2002-ish movie, Terminal, by Tom Hanks. Basically, this is a scene of the U.S. Customs at JFK International Airport. So this field commissioner, he is a very senior role, but there's one person above him is about to retire. So you can tell the relationship between big boss and him are almost like a father and son, truly mentor and mentee, like a teacher. And so he's trusting him and willing to give this position, hand it to him, not someone else, because he treats this person like a son. And then you know me, you know everything about me. So I feel comfortable handing my position to you. They're like half jokingly, well, you've been waiting for me to retire or drop dead for years. He was joking or being sarcastic. In any organization, those who get promoted, we always say, well, he's got somebody behind him. But the truth is that somebody is his mentor. The mentor happened to be his superior. And they happen to have this very close mentor and mentee, apprentice and master relationship. That's why they get promoted very easily, because they don't even have to go through the proper channel. When everybody sees it in the bulletin, that's already official. But they probably already decided in the golf course, in their family party, in their children's graduation ceremony. It's that close. There's a personal relationship behind it. So ask yourself, do I have a mentor that supports me? If not, then we need to work on it. So which decision maker is your mentor? And you also need to know that which subordinate is your mentee. You are being mentored by someone. You also need to mentor your subordinate, because 3 years down the line, there will be some intern that jump into the fast track. One day he or she could be your boss. But if you really took care of this person in the very beginning of their career, you've been taken care of. This is true human nature, and this is universal. Not just in America, it works in China, it works in India, it works anywhere. Yeah. And another question from your decision maker. Will this person fit the role? Meaning, can he or she play the role like this character persona? If this position requires very good public speaking skills, does this person have it? They look at all the requirements for the role and to see who is overqualified, who has a potential, and they pick one. And you need all alchemy for this. So how to improve your professional image or professionalism image? How do you do that? Introducing this simple tool. What is this? A triangle? Well, this is a very, very powerful tool. So you'll see the triangle in each corner. The top corner is communication. And the right bottom, it says acceptance. And the left is reality. And in the middle, it says understanding. This is the goal. We want acceptance, meaning like you want your boss, you want your colleagues to accept you, to like you, right? But how can they like you if they do not know you? So if you want to get more acceptance, you have to have shared reality, meaning you have all work together, you have a lot of happy hours, you have a lot of chit chat in the coffee break room and all that. You have a lot of experience sharing together, and you have some personal relationship. That's reality. How do you do that? Through communication. And that constitutes understanding. So acceptance, it's like or not like. In the very beginning, you're at this level, 0. Your colleagues, your bosses do not know you at all. So it's neutral. They don't hate you, they don't like you. And the reality is degree of shared experience. And some of you, do you know that, the barbecue place at Flushing? Oh, yeah, I just went there last weekend. Yeah. Because you all live in the vicinity of New York and you know this new place that's opening. All of us living in North America, we have some kind of shared experience. right? With your colleagues, with the boss, you need to have some shared experience. And also communication. This is basic vehicle to initiate reality and acceptance. Basic vehicle. It could be conversation. And conversation is such an important tool. That's why a lot of the first generation immigrants, Chinese especially, in an organization is invisible almost. They don't know what to talk about. They don't talk. They don't chit chat. When their colleagues are talking about something, they choose to be quiet because feel like, I don't know what you guys are talking about, because you don't care to join them to have some shared experience. But don't forget, we are all human. We can have a lot of shared experience. For example, if you're in a female-dominated organization and you happen to be a female, there's a lot to talk about. Talk about your husband, talk about your children, talk about all kinds of things. If you're a female working in a male-dominated environment, you can also find the person that's relatively the same or similar to your age group. Each generation, no matter where you're born in Japan, whether you're born in China, whether you're born in India, we all have some similar shared experience. Try to find that, try to pivot that. Then you will have your ally, you will have your friend, and communication through conversation, and you will initiate reality and acceptance. And the decision makers must feel comfortable about you. They must feel comfortable about you, meaning they must understand you. If I'm the decision maker, I do not know anything about this person other than we say hi in the elevator. Other than that, I don't know nothing about this person, literally nothing. This guy is a mystery. And you also must understand your decision makers. You need to know your boss, know them as a personal friend, know them as a personal mentor. We'd like to say you wanted to keep a relationship very professional. Yeah, that's true. But also, don't you forget, we are all human beings. We are all human here. We want that personal connections. You look at any organization, those who are inside the loop, inside a small circle, they all share the same personal life, if not same, but very similar. Their children all go to the same school. They all belong to the same club, and they meet outside work often, and they understand each other. So we have to create channel and opportunity for your decision makers to understand you by accepting you through communication and increased experienced reality. Meaning you understand his culture and he understands you personally and professionally. He understands you as a person, not just a title. He knows you very, very well as a person. They should be your buddies. They should be your teacher. They should be your friend. If you're in that realm, you get promoted very, very fast. It's not some trickery. It is just human nature. And career path is essentially a game. A game. Let's look at what is game. Game is a contest of person against person or team against team. Video game is that. Football game is that. Golf ball is like that. It's that contest. And your career is a game too. A game consists of freedoms, barriers, and purposes. And there's a necessity in a game to have an opponent or enemy. There's some rules to follow. There's some obstacles. And also there's purposes. Number one purpose is to earn the salary. We think the salary is very important. Unfortunately, once the salary hits a certain point, it's something beyond salary that drives you. And also there needs to be an opponent. Opponent could be the sales goal. It could be a competitor. So those are very important because without those things, this is not a game. And this will be a very, very boring thing to do. It's not going to be challenging at all. Just like Mario game. If there's no mushrooms, there's no pipes, that will be very boring. Also, there's a necessity to have problems and enough individuality to cope with the situation. So at work, there's always a lot of problems. There's always a lot of challenges. But because this is a game, so we can either by ourselves individually or we play with other teams to solve our problems together. And by solving our problems, we have fulfillment, we have happiness, we have rewarding, and promotion will be given to you as a reward most of the time. Basically, it's a group game played together. So stay in the game, be teachable, and be a good mentee first. Be a good mentee. You know who is going to be put on the no promotion list? Is those the boss asked this person, do you have any questions? No, sir. No, sir. I do not have any questions. Or if you ask this person, can I be any help? No, sir. I don't need any help. Thank you. those people are secretly put on the no promotion list. But some people, they always ask good questions. Those people, the impression they got from the decision makers, this person is on the trench. This person is doing what he's supposed to do. This is to be a good mentee. Ask a lot of questions. Ask the right questions. Ask your boss, immediate boss questions, and communicate. And most importantly, showcase your work. Showcase your work. And keep it to yourself is not a virtue by any means. It's not a virtue. It's a sin because you basically become this hindrance of your team. They don't know what you're doing. You are not being transparent and you are not communicating it. So they don't know what you did and you didn't update them. So by not showcasing your work, this is bad. And you'll also be treated as incompetent or potentially not ready to promote. Okay?